Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another asynchronous lesson with me, Miss Coakley. Asynchronous lessons are videos of your teacher teaching. You can always watch these videos at any time and rewind them at any time. Therefore, you can watch the lesson over and over until you understand it. On the next school day, your teacher can discuss what you learned from the lesson. So, be sure to watch and listen carefully. To start our lesson off, boys and girls, I would like for you to watch a video with me. So let's listen carefully.
How to retell a story. Retell means to tell the most important parts of a story from beginning to end. We often retell stories to show that we understood it. Sometimes we retell a story just for fun because we want to tell our friends about it. When you retell a story, you can't retell everything. You only retell the most important parts. So, what is important? Usually, the most important parts are the characters, the setting, and the big events that happen in the story. Have you heard the story Goldilocks and the Three Bears? I'm going to retell it to you. Goldilocks and the Three Bears is a story about a girl named Goldilocks who goes for a walk in the forest. In the beginning, the bears left their house to go for a walk while their porridge cooled. Next, Goldilocks came to their house and she ate their porridge, sat in their chairs, and then fell asleep in one of their beds. In the end, the bears came home and scared Goldilocks. She jumped out of bed and ran away. My retelling included the characters, the setting, and the most important events from the beginning, middle, and end. Now you can practice retelling a story on your own. Thanks for watching.
Well, boys and girls, she mentioned a very important word, retelling. Retelling in your own words. A short retelling in your own words. A short retelling in your own words. Do you remember what do you remember what that is called? Can you guess what today's lesson will be about? If you said summarization, you are correct. This week, we've been focusing on summarizing texts and stories. If you said summarization or summarizing, you are absolutely correct. But before we move on, I need to make sure that you watched the lesson before this. It's called Summarization Part 1, where I read you the story, We're Going on a Bear Hunt. This is part 2 of that lesson. So before you move on into this lesson, make sure you watch part 1 because we're going to be building on from summarization part 1. Okay? So without further ado, I have a chart that I would like you to view. Look at the chart. Can you describe it? What's going on? What do you think this chart is about? Look at the man. What is he doing? He is reading a long list of information or a very long story. And what is he saying? What is he thinking? I just need the main ideas. Well, boys and girls, summarizing means to retell a story in your own words. Summaries are short and only include the main points or the main ideas, like right here about what the man is thinking. I just need the main ideas. So summarizing is a short retelling of a story in your own words. Do you remember what occurred in the story We're Going on a Bear Hunt? What happened first, second, third, next, and then and last? Well, the family decided to go on a bear hunt where they first traveled through a forest. Second, they went through a rough snowstorm. Third, they arrived at a bear's cave. Do you remember what happened next? They encountered the bear. Then the bear chased them all the way home. It is then when the family promised to never go on a bear hunt again. What a fun and interesting story. After that, we built a graphic organizer. Graphic organizers can help us summarize stories in our own words. It includes the characters, the problem, the events, and the closing sentence. Do you remember the characters in the story were going on a bear hunt? Yes, the characters were a family and a bear. Do you remember the problem? The family went on a bear hunt but got chased away. And what were the events, the places mentioned in the story? There was a forest, a snowstorm, the cave, and the family's home or house. And we also decided on a closing sentence. The family will never hunt bears again. Now, boys and girls, we're going to use this graphic organizer to write a summary, a short retelling of the story. We're going on a bear hunt. Before I begin, how would you start this story off? How would you begin your summary? Pause the video and think about it. Well, boys and girls, I'm gonna mention the character in the story. The characters were a family. A family went on a bear hunt. Excellent. Do you remember the first event? Let's look at our graphic organizer to help us. The first event was the forest. First, they traveled through a forest. Do you remember what occurred second? What happened second? What was the second event? They went through a snowstorm. Excellent. Wow. Now, do you remember what happened next? Right here. They arrived at the bear's cave. Ooh, what happened then, boys and girls? Do you remember what happened then? Then the bear chased the family all the way. Where? Do you remember? What was the last place mentioned? Home. Very good. All the way home. Excellent. So we mentioned the characters, the events, and the problem. They got chased away. Now we're going to end with our closing sentence. The family will never hunt bears again. Excellent. Now let's reread our summary. A family went on a bear hunt. First, they traveled through a forest. Second, they went through a snowstorm. Next, they arrived at the bear's cave. Then the bear chased the family all the way home. The family will never hunt bears again. Excellent. We just summarized the story. We're going on a bear hunt. And we retold the story in our own words. This is a short retelling, and we only include the main points right here in our graphic organizer. Now, boys and girls, it's your turn to summarize your story. I want you to use your graphic organizer that you made from our last lesson of from Summarization Part 1. the video. Use that same graphic organizer that she would have made and write a summary with your using your graphic organizer to help you, okay? When you're done, I need you to upload it onto Class Dojo. Okay, so you will write a summary using your graphic organizer. Now, I told you that you can use your favorite story or you can use the story that we read together. We're going on a bear hunt, okay? And you can follow my same example, okay? I can't wait to see what you came up with, and I am so happy and excited to read them all. With that being said, boys and girls, we have arrived to the end of our lesson, and I'm going to end with this. Summarizing. Summarization is a short retelling of a story in your own words, and it only has the main points or the main idea. That's all for now, boys and girls, and I can't wait to see what you came up with. Goodbye.